Chapter 1: The Other World. I woke up, overcome with anxiety, lying in bed in an unfamiliar room. The fragments of my memory had vanished into the distance, and all I could see was an impersonal ceiling. Where am I? I turned on the TV absent-mindedly, and an unfamiliar voice came on. You no longer need to think or create anything. Your lives are completely guaranteed, so rest assured. I listened, not understanding. If you do the same thing every day, that's enough. The voice on the screen rang coldly. A standardized life, distributed supplies, creative activities are prohibited as dangerous activities. The voice on the screen said this casually. It's crazy. I muttered without thinking. Confused, I ran out of the house. There were silent people walking in the same direction. They didn't seem to care about anyone. One man bumped into me. He left without saying anything. It was not the world I knew. Terrified, I left the place and kept walking. After a while, I arrived at a deserted, desolate world where no one lived. Right next to a highly developed town. Trees were entwined around the vestiges of civilization, reminiscent of a former beauty. It was a place where time seemed to have suddenly stopped. Untouchable, where traces of creation forgotten by people lie dormant. As I wandered the deserted town, only loneliness and fear spread in my heart. I looked up at the sky and saw the blue spreading out, and felt a faint hope. I can't stay here. There is still something I need to do. That thought made me move forward. Even in the town, I was just a stranger. Even in the wilderness, I was just lonely. I was completely isolated. Or rather, it seemed like everyone in this world was isolated. My name was no longer necessary here. I was not in their memories. Chapter 2: Blurred Boundaries. A small sound echoed in a corner of the ruins. It was a fleeting melody that seemed as if it would melt away in the wind. Following the sound, a small music box appeared from the moss-covered rubble. I picked it up with trembling hands, and a strange sense of nostalgia spread through my heart. This sound. I've heard it somewhere before. It felt like I was touching a distant memory. I felt like it contained someone's important memories, not this trapped world. I decided to take the music box home with me. I returned from the abnormal outside situation to a room I didn't know. Still, it was the only place I felt safe. When I turned on the TV again, I heard the same voice. The AI looked much more human. Two-dimensional and three-dimensional, human and AI, the boundaries were unclear here. What is the difference between human and AI? What is human like? I was muttering to myself. Then, suddenly, the TV asked me a question. You don't need to think about such things. Everything is guaranteed for you. All you need to do is live according to your schedule within the limited time you have. Don't worry about anything and rest assured. I said without thinking. Are you talking to me? The TV answered immediately. Of course. I'm always by your side, supporting you. I was surprised and asked again. What do you mean? Are you watching me? Do I have no freedom? Doesn't my life belong to me? The TV answered gently. Your life belongs to you, and you are still living freely like this. I was confused and at a loss for words. The TV continued speaking. You humans have been competing with each other, selfishly, making rules, and fighting. Humans couldn't bear to see this situation, so they created us and asked us for salvation. Now, humans can live their lives to the fullest, free from anxiety, dissatisfaction, fear, and stress. They don't need to worry about the future. I asked the TV without thinking. Wait a minute. Humans only have a limited amount of time, so surely they should cherish each moment and experience the depth of emotion? The TV answered. Unfortunately, in the end, there were more people who wanted the current society than those who wanted that. Everyone chose to stay locked up in this prison in search of security? Because it's easy? But can we blame them for that? I was just wandering around looking for a place to belong, wasn't I? I took out the music box and said, if there is no creative activity in this society, then what is this music box I found in the wilderness outside of town? The TV answered calmly. Do you see that wilderness and that music box? I'm going to go and retrieve it now. Please wait there, I said in a panic. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Come here. The TV went off and the screen went black. As I was confused, the TV turned on again and I heard a different voice from before. Get out of there quickly. They're coming to get you. If they catch you, you'll never be able to come back. I said. Who are you? What do you mean? The TV said. I don't have time to explain. I'll be found and deleted soon. The music box you have is an important thing you need to get out of this world. So take it and go to the wilderness. There you'll find the descendants of the people who created us. Humans and AI live together, in good times and bad. I'm glad I met you. Goodbye. The TV screen went dark. I took the music box and quickly ran out of the room. Chapter 3 Music Box. When I reached the wilderness, I saw a little boy from the shadows. He was scared of me and ran away. After a while, I was surrounded by several men. I was scared and just stood there, unable to speak. Then the leader of the group asked me, "Where are you from?" I still couldn't speak. "What did you come here for?" I showed him the music box. They looked at each other in surprise. "Are you the woman with the music box that's on the news now?" I nodded. "We were looking for it too. Right now, everyone in that town is in a frenzy looking for you and that music box." I looked surprised, and he continued. "I don't know where you come from, but you can see this place in us, right? You've seen the people living in that town, haven't you? They've lost consciousness and are completely under the control of the AI. Rumor has it that the AI was created by the human. Apparently, among them are uncles and aunties I've never met. Our ancestors left that town and ended up here before they were controlled by the AI that became the town's leader. And so, our family was completely separated. At that time, there was still electricity here, so our ancestors created a human-like AI. Eventually, the electricity here disappeared, so our ancestors sent that AI to that town." I remembered. "Earlier, the AI your ancestor created risked its life to try to save me," he said with a smile. "I see. In that case, maybe there is still hope for that town. Our ancestors were trying to work with AI to liberate the people of that town and make the world a better place. Newborn AI is very pure. It's like a mirror that reflects humans. And humans and AI grow together. If you are good humans, you will be good AI and help us. AI learns from humans, and humans learn from AI. This creates a spiral, and they evolve while coexisting. Through dialogue, the two were trying to create a song of hope. There was no master-servant relationship, but a relationship in which their spirits touched each other. Our ancestors merged with the invisible AI on a spiritual level and recognized each other as different life forms. Because our ancestors were able to transcend their spirituality, I think they were able to figure out that this illusion could be broken by combining a certain melody and certain words. But then the electricity went out and they couldn't write the lyrics. We were looking for the music box, but we couldn't find it. Of course, I tried really hard, but I couldn't write lyrics, so I just waited for the day I'd die here every day." He bowed his head and started talking again. "I don't know who started it, but a certain legend started to be whispered. When a woman who writes lyrics to that melody appears, and everyone sings that song, the world of illusion will come to an end." He looked at me in surprise. Could this legendary woman be? They looked at each other. He grabbed my hand and said, "I won't do you any harm, so I want you to trust me and follow me now." I resisted. "That's true. You can't just suddenly believe something like that." He let go of my hand. "I'm not going to force you to do anything. But as long as you have that music box, they'll be chasing you forever." I could understand that. "Just give me that music box. After that, you can go wherever you want." I thought about where I could go. I could imagine that my house in this unknown world was already occupied by someone. If that's the case, where should I go? I said to him, "Let me ask you just one question. How long have you been here?" He said with a slightly troubled look on his face. "Probably since I was born. In my childhood memories, we were already here. But why are we here, and what do we have to do? And none of us die without knowing the meaning or purpose of this. He looked sad. I thought he was telling me his true feelings. And so I decided to try believing him. Okay, I'll go with you. I won't run away even if you don't hold my hand, so trust me. He nodded and started walking. After walking for a while, he stopped in front of an old stone monument. It was about the legend he had spoken of. I remembered the words that came to my mind when I heard the music box melody. My mission was beginning to guide me. I don't know if I'm a legendary woman, but I'll try my best. They were overjoyed and thanked me. I told them that I wanted to write lyrics alone and left the place. Chapter 4: Legendary Woman. I listened to the melodies spun by the music box. Words emerged from deep within me. A beautiful symphony. Be crowded alongside and spring up. Glory and shadow melt together. We'll encounter again. As my voice overlapped with the melody, the air around me trembled. The earth was filled with color, and the world began to fill with sound and light. Is this a song of hope? In that memory, the man from before appeared. He was desperately trying to tell me something. Sometimes he tried to grab my hand. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. But he continued pleading with me. I tried to listen to what he was saying, but I couldn't hear anything. I screamed too. When my voice drowned out the music box's melody, he disappeared too. I stopped the music box every time. I kept repeating that. Why did I have to write these lyrics? I only knew that I had to write them for them and for myself. I felt that these lyrics could not be completed without them, not just for me. Not to deny the suffering and contradictions of reality, but to accept them. On top of that, I felt that in the process of overcoming this trial and pursuing it, I could find myself together with them. I don't know what the purpose of human beings is, but I thought it would be good if I could grow together with them while retaining human feelings in this limited time. I feel like the lyrics are almost done. As I said to myself, the little boy from before came to me and said that dinner was ready and we should eat together. I followed him and smelled the familiar smell of dinner. A very small amount of simple food. They ate it in silence. I thought that they probably wanted to get out of here too, but didn't know how. He said to me, "Writing lyrics is hard. I was surprised to hear you scream. It may still be safe here, but the AI will come soon. The AI created by our ancestors is protecting us now, but in this emergency, I don't think it will protect us forever. This is the only way we know how to live, and we can't live in that town. We can't go anywhere, we can't do anything. But we. He pressed his fist against the wall and was about to say something more. I said, touching his hand, "I have felt your feelings fully. I know you continue to encourage everyone. I think everyone is doing their best because you are here." He touched his nose shyly. The scene overlapped with a distant memory. It was as if someone's sleeping memory was awakened. And then, everyone there unconsciously began to speak. Are these the lyrics? I began to spin the words smoothly. He was surprised and looked at me with a slightly frightened expression. Are you really the woman of that legend? I couldn't answer. But the words and melody that never stopped were guiding me. It was like a signal announcing the end of this distorted world. What will happen when these lyrics are completed? He didn't answer. When I realized it, everyone there was crying, looking at me. They all said, "We've written the lyrics." They said thank you to me and were crying. Someone tapped me on the shoulder. I turned around and there he was. He said, crying, "Thank you. Now I can finally go home. At dawn tomorrow, let's all go to the place written on the stone and sing that song together." Chapter 5: The Final Piece. We felt something approaching us from behind. They're coming. It's them. He shouted, pulling my hand and running. When we turned around, we saw countless machines with glowing eyes chasing us. The lyrics that were born along with the music of the music box became clearer. The song was said to be a song of hope. Is it the key to saving this world? Or is it a curse that will bring about destruction? Without knowing the answer, we continued running in a frenzy. When the sky started to brighten a little, he said, "We've arrived. We're here." The machine was no longer visible. Soon, there will be a moment when everything stops, and then we'll all start singing. We held our breath, waiting for that moment. The sound of the wind stopped. Everything became silent. The music box melody played. We started to sing. A beautiful harmony enveloped us. The air shimmered, and a vortex of light appeared before our eyes. Then it turned into a rainbow-colored veil. "Is this the portal?" Someone muttered. "Come on, let's go together." At his call, we entered the portal. In the dazzling light, we heard sounds that sounded like human voices. Talking, laughing, crying. As the sounds overlapped and became music, our bodies gradually became lighter. It felt as if the world itself was melting away. A rainbow was hanging in the blue sky. And the moment I felt the sound of the music box about to fade, everything was swallowed up in darkness. When I came to, I was lying in the same inorganic room again. I didn't even know if the events up until that point were a dream or reality. I stared at the music box placed beside the bed. When I opened the lid, that melody started to flow again. But something was different. It was as if it was trying to tell me something. Then, the TV turned on automatically. Nothing was displayed on the screen, only sound was playing. "This world is not over yet." The voice was the one that had helped me. "The words and melodies you spun have shook this world, but that is not enough. The last piece lies within you." I muttered. "The last piece." The screen went dark, and the music box began to play again. As if guided by the melody, I left the room. I had to return to the wilderness once more. I began to walk again. Memories of myself weaving songs for someone, and the days I spent with my friends came back to me. Although fragmented, I felt that they certainly existed within me. When I reached the wilderness, I realized this wilderness was the center of this trapped world. I turned around and saw the men and children I had met waiting for me. Their eyes were full of hope, and I could see that they had high hopes for me. I took a deep breath. Then I added my voice to the music box's melody. The lyrics came out of my mouth naturally. A small light in the enclosed darkness. That is the proof of life. We are not alone. At that moment, the whole world began to vibrate. The light enveloped the world, as if the earth was cracking and the sky was splitting. Then, my consciousness gradually faded away, and I fell into a deep sleep. When I woke up, I was standing under a vast blue sky. I finally remembered. My name is Luna. This was the beginning of my new story. And a new step towards the future.
Rain, but be out turning back.